Letters. Let's talk about teaching your kids about their letters. For preschool, kindergarten, or first grade, here are some ideas to try. Hi, I'm Tessa, first and second grade teacher staying at home now with my two boys. I like to share math, reading, and writing ideas for parents, teachers, homeschool families. So this video will focus on teaching your preschool, kinder, first grade kiddo to identify their letters and a little bit get into the sounds. So let's get started. Okay, so the first few activities will focus on letter identifying, so knowing the letter name and what it looks like. And really a lot of this just comes down to constant exposure, just giving your kiddos multiple times to practice and just become familiar with it. So a lot of these games are similar ideas, just a little different way, because again, you just want constant repetition and they'll pick it up. So we can do different ABC charts. This one is capital letters or uppercase letters. You could have lowercase letters as well. One like this has both. These are useful for a lot of different things. They're done a lot of different ways. If your kiddos have been in school, they've probably done something similar to this, where they do just letter names in the picture, or you could do letter names and sounds. So it can look a lot of different ways, but it's just a great visual so they can get that upper and lower case together. Right, a couple ways you can use this ABC chart is just simply asking your child to find a letter, and then you can do it different ways to make it fun. You can use these little chips I found at the Dollar Tree. So you could say, find the letter J, and then they would find it and cover it up. Or you could have them do a dry erase marker if it's in a little dry erase pocket, or a sheet protector works too with the dry erase. So you could have them circle the letter N. Okay, so they could do it that way. And then another way, my son loved doing this, we went on a little hunt for rocks and wrote the letters on it. So he will just match them. Okay, so we have uppercase on the rocks as well as on the chart. You could switch to where if your chart had uppercase, you could do lowercase on these. You could also write on letters on these little chips, and you could match the opposite, so they're matching upper with lowercase. That's another way to do it. You could even, if your kiddo's ready to go into sounds, or if you just want to start getting them to know their letter sounds, you could say, find the letter that makes the A sound. Okay, and then they're going to connect that sound with what that letter looks like. So they might find the A. Or you could do a word, so you could say, what letter starts with the word kite? And then they're going to find that K at the beginning. Okay, so you can do sounds with this as well. You can do that also if you've got a ABC chart that's more like this. This could be a great thing to help them with the sounds too, because they get a little help. So like they've already got the kangaroo picture here, so that might remind them, oh yeah, K makes the K sound. Another great thing to have are just ABC cards. These are useful for so many different games. These are lowercase. Again, you could have uppercase, lowercase. You could have some more like flashcard type ones like this. So one game is just a memory game, where you would have to have multiple of each letter pairs, or you could do uppercase and lowercase and they would match those two. But just how you would think the memory game would be, where you flip them over, and then you could play the game, have turns picking over two, and then they see, do they match? No, then they turn them back over. So again, it's forcing them to really look at the letters to see if they're a match, so they just notice what letters look like. With these letter cards, you could also do a sort. I've got one in a pocket chart here. You don't have to use a pocket chart if you don't have one. You can just lay these on a table and they can just sort into piles or groups. Okay, but my son loves a pocket chart. So for this sort, we're going to be looking at holes, or like an enclosed part, and then letters that don't have any holes or enclosed parts. Okay, so for example, here's the letter D, and a D does have a hole, so we would sort it in this section. Same with the E. They're noticing that there is a hole on that one. Okay, letter K, it does not have any enclosed or holes, so that is going to get sorted over here. Another sort you can do is with curved lines, straight lines, or curved and straight lines. So again, you're looking at these letters and sorting them where they go. So D has a straight line and a curved line, so that would get put in the both category. Okay, same with E. It's got a curve and a little straight right there. Okay, K's just got straight, so you get the idea. Okay, so with these sorting games, the idea is just getting your child familiar with what the letters look like. So they're really having to focus on the letters to see how they're similar and different. Another thing to do with some letter cards is just put them on a ring, just kind of a quick ID game. So you can just go through at the beginning, you could go through an order and they just say the letter's name, identifying the letters, right? So you can go through and then you can start mixing it up and not going in order and see if they really know them well. Again, you can do lowercase, you can do uppercase, and then eventually you can even do these as sounds, or some people like to start doing sounds, and that's fine too. So you could just go through and instead of saying A, they would say ah, and you could do the sound. Another activity you can do is a book hunt. So you just really can find any book and just go through the book, ask if they can find a letter B, and then have them look on a page and see how many they can find. So you can do that with really any book, or you can choose to get specific letter books or ABC books. And these are just to give you an idea, some of the ones that we have that my son loves to go through. Just all the different letters. So again, just getting them more exposure to what letters look like as you go through and talk about the names of the letters and see how many they can find. Next, I want to talk about a few activities that are identifying letters and then also can have kind of like a pre-writing piece or an actual writing piece. This one, I call it pre-writing because they're doing finger tracing. So they're not actually holding a pencil and writing, but it is getting their fine motor skills ready for that. So this book is great. It's called A for Apple, and there are a lot of different books that you can find that do similar things, but this has the way that they would form the letter so they can practice writing. It's got this one first, this way second, this way third, and it's kind of indented so they can feel that as they move their finger. So it's kind of got that tactile too. Okay, and then they get to flip it open and see what else starts with the letters. Okay, so that's a great one. And then some other ones that you can find at the Dollar Tree is a great place to go. They've got all kinds of these little activity workbooks. This is one that we've been going through, and it's got uppercase, lowercase, and it's just great for identifying. It's got color a picture whose name begins with A. Okay, so just again, more practice. Another example is this alphabet activity pad. Melissa and Doug has a lot of great things as well. This one my son really likes just because it's got the stickers. Anything with stickers, right? So we kind of have a little routine that we do when we go through this on each page. Let's see. I think we're on this one. So we start with the new letter, and then he finger traces it. So he'll trace it. Okay, and then we're working on actual writing now with his pencil grip, which I'll show that in a second. So then he traces over it with his pencil. We started with a crayon just because I think it's easier for kids to grip that. and then we worked into a pencil. So we'll trace that, and then we read the story. So we'll read that a couple times, talk about the silly story, and then I will give him a crayon and he highlights, just any light color, he highlights all the capital or uppercase K's with one color, and then he picks a different color, and then he highlights or colors over. Guess I can show you when he's done all the lowercase ones. Okay, so just kind of highlighting it in. Just again, they're having to find the letter, just more practice identifying the letters. And then we look for the stickers, and then he gets to color the picture, and then we read the story again. So it's just a little thing we do with each letter. You can come up with something similar to do with your kid. So there's lots of different activity book options that I think are great. Okay, now get your other crayon and find a little lowercase case. Okay, let's see if we got them all. Kathy Kangaroo flies a kite with a key tied to its tail. Do you think we got them all? Okay, let's count. How many little K's did you see? How many little K's are there? 2 little. Another activity you can do with your kiddo as you're doing letters and working on writing those letters is a sensory bag. And this is just a hair gel and food coloring. I'll link a video down below on how to make it. They're pretty simple, but it's a great way, just gives kids a different fun thing to do to practice their letters. So they can trace their letters in there a few times, and then they can see their letter a little bit better. Okay, but just a different fun, it's just something about this squishy stuff. It's just a different fun thing for kids to do. Lastly, I want to mention just some more game ideas. If you're looking for more games than kind of learning, teaching activities, there's a lot of great things out there. So puzzles, my son loves puzzles. So there are different puzzles where you match letters and pictures. Giant floor puzzles. We have a bunch of these floor puzzles. He loves them. And then we found this foam puzzle at the Dollar Tree, so we might check there. And then Leapfrog makes some great things. These we've had for a long time. Probably since my son was about 1, he just loves them. And so they both do letter names and sounds, which is great. This one as well. I believe we found this at the thrift store. So there's some good finds out there. But so anyway, there's a lot of game ideas that you can do as well. Again, just helping your child with more repetition, more familiarizing with knowing their letters. I hope you found a new idea or game to try with your kiddo. These have been very helpful to me in the classroom and even at home with my own son. So hopefully you'll find them helpful as well. Please subscribe to my channel, and you can hit that bell icon and be notified about future videos. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.